Good morning, everyone. How we doing? Let's get the alerts out here and make sure everyone knows that we're live. Good. Sure, I'll answer this several times throughout the stream today, but I did end up getting hit with the MA rule on Apex. That was what the violation was. What's going on, Rebo? Good morning. How you doing? Welcome in. Walldive, how you doing? Morning, Mark. Morning, Arvin. How you guys doing? Audio cutting off for you? Audio should be fine. Doesn't look like I'm having any errors with it. I feel pretty stupid not holding those shorts longer yesterday, but we got the right idea with downside. A little disappointing that I didn't hold the IB shorts a little bit longer, but it's okay. What'd you get into, Walldive? I just heard your order fill. We had a pretty crazy continuation down yesterday. And luckily, we are opening within previous day's range. So I'll go ahead and mark that out. So previous day's 50. We have our London 50 drawn. There we go. So what I'm going to be anticipating in open is probably, well, we do have a decent chance for the gap fill as well. We'll pull up edge fill, go through those data points, and then gap fill. Ooh, this is going to be a fun day, actually. So if we draw in nice IB yesterday, you got an IB. Yeah, it was a very nice IB yesterday. You got a violation from Apex this morning. I can request the payout next Wednesday. You lost one funded account trying to catch the bottom. Trying to stay in the trend is definitely the hardest thing to do. That's the most challenging step in futures trading that I've overcome. But once you just trade the trend, you just go after the trend, you only trade what the direction the trend is moving in. So for yesterday, for example, we traded shorts for the entire day. We did not look for longs. We're not trading at 3:50 in the afternoon, so this little pop has no significance to us. We were only looking for a continuation down the entire day, and that's what we got. We got our pullback almost to the IB50, which I should have been a little bit more patient on the entry. It did still end up hitting the full TP, so it worked out in the end, but it just goes to show that you are shorting if the trend is down, you are longing if the trend is up. I did get caught a little bit last night in longs. I wouldn't say that they were terrible longs. God, I get a little heart palpitation every time opening this. What's going on, Mike? Good morning. I worry that I leave a order in for no reason. Voice is cracking a little bit too much this morning, so we're gonna go back in with the tea. Sorry if you hear me gulp. I did get one long last night. It ended up hitting my full TP at 3 in the morning. Definitely did not hold it until 3 in the morning, but good thesis. What was the violation? Gulp louder. Violation I ended up getting hit with yesterday was the MA rule. I had to reach out to support. They didn't send me an email for it. It wasn't yesterday. It was from Friday or Thursday last week. What's going on, Emiliano? Last night was a pretty nice. I'm gonna call it a bull flag break. So the trend resets at that 8 p.m. Asia Open. So if you're trading 8 p.m., the trend is over there. So we're not trading the same New York trend that was down the entire day. We're trading the Asia trend, which is the new established Glopex trend. This one was what looked to me like a bull flag, so I entered longs. I had a 40-point stop on this last night. The reason that I went with 40 points on 1 MNQ as opposed to 20 with 2 MNQ, same thing, it's an $80 loss, is because last night, where was it? Let's see if I can find it anywhere. Right here. So 7 p.m. on Tuesday night, I entered longs because we had a very nice trend shift from 6 all the way until 7. We moved from 872 all the way up to 979, so a 100-point trend shift. I waited for a pullback. I got in at 25,938, and the candle wicked down to 25,914. So my 20-point stop loss got hit, and then it ended up hitting the TP that I wanted. This one I think again was at 3 in the morning, but it did hit the 26,000 I was looking for. My entry from 25,938 would have made like a $250, $256, and I got stopped out for $80. So learned that lesson. Went directly into the following session with 1 MNQ with a 40-point stop as opposed to 2 MNQs with a 20-point stop. Same exact risk, just broadened the stop loss so I didn't get swept out. If I had gone in with 20 points again, this one was 25,399 for an entry. We swept down to 25,375. I would have gotten stopped out by 4 points. And then it ended up going and hitting my full TP. So that is a great example of how you use not necessarily pattern recognition, but you don't go and get your hands burnt twice. Stay sized the same. Sizing down, I wouldn't consider as a bad thing at all. But sizing the same is completely okay. Or sizing down because of an event like that's completely okay, I should say. Name unknown, I do not. Just on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, so for the Apex account, I did have one trade on gold last night. This one really hurt as well. I had one long, and I got stopped at break even, and my entry was 5,007.7. I'll show you guys how bad this hurts. This was my entry, and this candle wicked down to 504. This is on the 5-minute time frame, so you're not going to be able to see it. You just have to take my word for it. It wicked down 3 points below my break-even stop, and then pushed up 75 points. Very upset by that one. But gold's cooling off a little bit, so it is somewhat okay to trade during Asia again. It's still a little volatile. I've broadened my stop loss to 10 points as opposed to 5. And that's only because I have just about a $3,000 balance on these Apex accounts. So not too worried about those for the time being. I will be able to request the payout. I have 3 $50 days already for the next cycle, today included. I guess I can't count that yet because we haven't taken any IV trades yet. But this will be day 3. And I have to wait until February 11th, so next Wednesday, to take that payout. Now, going over to our stats for today, we have a 0.5%, 0.05% gap up on SPY. and we have a 0.4% gap down on Qs. It's going to be an interesting day with the gap fill stat because this is almost identical to what we got on Friday. Even yesterday kind of did the same thing, but Friday, Qs did not have a gap down. Qs actually had, Monday, not Friday. Qs had a pretty significant gap down. SPY was maybe a couple cents away from filling the gap. And we got a pretty directional move for the entire day. So what I'm going to be looking for today is, does SPY go and fill its gap down? Does Qs go and fill its gap up? Depending on that, we're either going to be gravitating towards 611 or 628.49, which is previous day's high. That will give us a pretty clear bias and formation of a plan into open. So that's on the inside bar stat, 78% chance that we go to previous day's high or low. It could also be influenced by the size, but I haven't looked too much into that yet. We were talking about that on stream on Friday with Andre regarding if the candle's like 15 points like it was yesterday, 18 points in yesterday's case, actually. Pretty slim chance that we go to the high or low. SPY, a lot more likely because of the lower range, 684 to 696, $12 as opposed to 18. And then our gap fill by size on Qs, we're in the third bracket. We have a 76% chance of not filling this. So I'm going to be, actually we're switching between these two. So depending on where we open, even a 1/10 of a percent here in the next 15, that will give us either a 78% chance of filling the gap or a 76% chance of not filling the gap. Something pretty interesting to look at there. How many points do you use for a stop loss in MGC? Usually about 10. 5 to 10 is what I've been doing. I found 4 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Edgeful as an excellent custom Asia IB for trend trades. Zinc concept with a custom IB for the data. I'll have to look into that. Did they give you a reason for the denial at Apex? They did. They said I hit the MAE rule. What did you do wrong with them? The MAE rule was 30, which is kind of, this is probably one of the dumber rules I've seen on prop firms, but I think my balance is like 1,700 or 1,500, I don't know when they assigned it. They assigned it on Friday. So I don't know if they hold on to it right before you go and take a payout or what. They said I had a trade that went more than $350 a red because that's what the MAE rule was based on my starting balance for the day. Which the only one I can think of for that is maybe the IB that we had on Thursday last week. Not Thursday, the Thursday the week before where it lost, Thursday, January 22nd. Or the gold trade, I don't know. It's a pretty strict rule on the 25K accounts. It's a pretty dumb rule in general, but all I have to do is trade for another 8 days. That's it. I don't have to do any more profit targets. I don't have to do any increase. So I just have to trade until next Wednesday. I need 5 $50 days. I'm at 3 so far. Yesterday, Tuesday, and then today will be 3. Tomorrow is 4. Friday's 5. And then 6, 7, 8. Next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm not too upset about it. If anything, this gave me some more longevity on the accounts because had I requested right at that 25.6, the balance would have been pushed down to $1,000 in drawdown. So now, come next Wednesday, I should have at minimum, I guess depending if I take any losses too, I should have at minimum like 3,100. So when I request the 1,500 per account, I'll have 1,500 in drawdown, and I'll basically have the accounts fresh. And then I need to make another $1,000, and that will get me another 30K payout. So not too bad of a situation to be in all honesty. At least it was a rule breach and not just a randomly denying you. Yeah, still a little disappointed by it. Fred Chaser, what's going on? Bob, good morning. Patrick, good morning. Eddie, Kalen, Futures, Sasso, Bear, how you doing? You got it on that long last night, didn't you, Bear? And no, you did. So again, going over to the Edgeful stats. It's the same thing that I do every morning. This is our pre-market prep, essentially. I know it doesn't take very long to go and look through these, but I've done it every morning for the past 6 months. So it's a lot of waiting. What was that, Bear? No good. Very nice. I'm getting the chat set up on my other screen so I can read it a little bit better. There we go. Don't tell me we don't need an authenticator for this. That would be a little sad. What's going on, Tarn? How you doing? Good morning. I do need the authenticator. Are you kidding me? Probably not, Tarn. Excuse the sniffles today. Hopefully everyone is staying clear of this flu season. Come on now. No. I have seen quite a few people getting caught up in it. Isn't there an indicator where you draw the line in session for you? Why do you draw it out? Because I'm making sure that I use the tool consistently. I do not want to just rely on indicators for everything. I do use the IB because it updates real time. That one's a little bit different than previous days 50 and London 50. The previous day's range, that one stays stationary. In London 50, that also stays stationary. The IB changes real time for the first hour. And I don't want to go and rely on an indicator and then not be able to do it come a year or not be able to refine my edge. It's the chart that I'm looking at right now is as simple as it gets for drawing out signals, I'd say, or your strategy. So I don't see much of a point in having an automated indicator for this. However, on that note, the ones for Edgeful, they're a little bit more helpful because those indicators update real time. So the IB, it's constantly making new highs or lows for the first hour. That one, I don't want to go and keep drawing over and over and over again like we do on Trade of 8. I think I actually still have it in for yesterday. Yeah, we do. So I had to, when I was drawing this yesterday, I had to keep lowering it the entire time as the IB was forming, and then finally got it with the official low there. So London 50 is the pre-market range with a 50% line drawn in. That's it. That's a very solid indicator in terms of playing a continuation on trend. It's one of my favorite ones, in all honesty. Works really well when it does work. Yesterday, we almost got a reaction off of it on Qs, not quite, but SPY. Yesterday's pre-market, that wick that we had up right into open. If I draw it in the London 50, London low to London high, you can see that wick swept just barely in the London 50 and then had a nice continuation down. Start time and end time on it is 4 a.m. to 9:30's open. And then the high or low that's formed in that time frame is what you're drawing out. When do you decide to take the IB before it hits 50? On a day like yesterday when we have, I think it was a $12 range on Qs for the IB, and SPY almost hit the 50, which is why I opted with SPY. It was a little bit, I think everyone can agree with this, it was a little bit better of a risk reward in terms of the movement that it was having, the speed at which it was moving, and then how close we were to the 50%. So you don't have to wait right for 50%. I did enter this trade yesterday, and I just had a 1-to-1 risk reward on it. Sergio, don't you dare say that right now to me. Trade of 8 is down. Does anyone else have any input on this? No. Man, let's see. Let's see how many other people are saying that on Twitter. No. No, and then I'm not going to be able to log back in. I just want to watch it. The last time I logged out of my Lucid account, and I couldn't get back in on it. Okay. Black screen. Black screen. Still black screen. Still black screen. All Trade of 8 sim is down. Let's see what, and let's see what we're getting for Tradeify and Lucid's Discord. What are they saying? Trade chat only. Trade of 8 bug. Trade of 8's down. I can't log into Trade of 8. Internal server error. Trade of 8's down. No. I would not doubt. Yeah, it just logged me out. It said internal server error ID EE6ECFC3 and about 40 more numbers. Oh man. You know what I wouldn't doubt is if Top Step is, I know this seems like a little bit of conspiracy theory here. What if Top Step is like DDoSing Trade of 8 with all the money they have? Could you imagine? Yeah. Did it exit your position for you? That kind of stinks. Oh man. So it looks like no trades for us in open. Have you requested the payout from Apex? I will next Wednesday when they don't hit me with the MAE rule. Okay, let's see what's over here too. Sure. Yeah, that would suck. Man, it's probably a Cloudflare issue if it's internal. Yeah, who knows what it is. It's Top Step DDoSing them. All right, I will be back momentarily. Sorry about that. Every time. Well, we'll see how long it takes. Let's see what the updates are from these. Trade is down. Yeah, it is. Your mic was on Freedom Trader. That's why I just muted you. I could hear some echo through it. Your speakers, that is. Tradeify and Lucid will probably have an update out here in a minute. It's pretty funny given that Project X just went down once a week for the past like 13 weeks in a row, and now they're not having issues anymore, and Tradeovate's having issues. All right, what was our gap up there? Okay, we opened in the second bracket, so we have a 78% chance of filling this gap to the downside, meaning that we should be anticipating a move no longer down to previous day's low. We should be anticipating a move up to 616.49. The gap fill from yesterday. SPY looks like it just about filled its gap down. Pretty close-ish. But we should be anticipating a move back up if it ends up dropping. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's anything we can do right now. Very glad I didn't just log out of Apex, Steve. I wouldn't have been able to get back in. Yeah, but I can look at it. It's like a... No, I won't go there. I was going to try and make a joke about that, but in poor taste. All right, so definitely no gap fill. Should be going to previous day's low then. I can't even log into NinjaTrader. Yes, it is an internal server error. No updates from Lucid or Tradeify yet. They'll have a little bit more information, I'm sure, but it's probably like what you're saying yourself in the stream, Cloudflare. Cloudflare has been really bad everywhere for weeks. I don't know how these companies still use them. Down for me as well. Yeah, it's down for everyone. Well, our first arrow, the first one I drew was the correct one. Gap fill report's a little iffy there. But we're already down almost 1% on the day. The gap fill is still in play into close, so we could go and take out that previous day's low on Qs right here, or barely miss it and go all the way back up to that gap fill. We'll see. Plenty of time for this to develop. I'm gonna go get some plug-in earbuds today, so I don't have to wear this clunky headset anymore. Almost went and hit that previous day's low. It looks like TradingView is going a little slow as well. It's not updating as fast as it usually does. Oh, my connection's fine. See, I'll even go and run Cloudflare. No, it's probably not a good idea, but I don't want it to nuke the stream. Oh, it's doing it just fine, actually. Let's see. Where are we sitting at? Not too shabby for unwired. Hopefully that didn't just make the stream lag. If it did, I apologize. Oh, 700. Great, great, great. I'll take my apology now, Steve. Did that just crash the stream? You missed your opportunity to say Canada. No, that's usually what people say. Not from Canada. Internal server error. Lucid's Discord is going nuts. Tradify's Discord's going nuts. Wow, we may very well sweep all the way back up to that gap fill. That was quite a strong 15-minute wick. Project X vibes. It's kind of, I'm going to say they're DDoSing them. Project X, Top Step's spending all their money to DDoS Tradevate to get their clients back. I'm looking over at the the other Discords. Tradeify, Lucid, MyFunded Futures, they're all going nuts. Freaking out because they can't trade. Check that inside bar by weekday. Inside bar by weekday, Tuesday. Look at that look at that update speed. 73% chance. 11 out of 15 days. If I go to 2 years, look at that update speed. What's in play? On Tuesday? Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm on Wednesday. 91% chance. But it also, I mentioned this earlier, Andre. I don't know if you were in here. This is a 18-point candle in Qs, and SPY is also a 12-point range. So these are the ones we were just talking about that probably won't fill. QQQ, I'm anticipating it goes down to that previous day's low. I missed it by what, 30 cents, but also is that gap fill stat that is sitting at like a 76% chance we go and fill it. That's why I have the arrow drawn up. QQQ 69. Why is it different than what it was? Oh, good luck trading today. Can't trade because we're down on the platforms. It's a bunch of baloney. Thank you, Andre. Thank you. Good going, Zinc. I know I did this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, my screenshot's not working again today. What the heck? Man. Andre just Andre just sent me a DM saying he hasn't stopped thinking about the chicken sexer story from Friday because how funny it was. F you trade F you prop firms, you will not take my money. Pissed me off. I'm done for the day. I made another 600. How are you trading? Had to close. Took forever waiting for each account to load. We missed previous day's low by 13 points. Oh, you were out before it started happening. That makes sense now. I was wondering how you got in. Oh, $5 drop on gold. That stinks. Top Step playing super chess. Ref do something. Tradebait is down again today. Yes. I'm convinced that Top Step is DDoSing them. Now that they have Project X somewhat reliable, they're out here DDoSing. That's my guess. Well, not really much we can do, but this goes into what I was talking about yesterday, where there's absolutely nothing wrong with heightening or sharpening your edge, even when you don't take trades. Trying to read the chart and predict which way price is going. Perfectly okay with that. I'm assuming that we're gonna go up and take that gap from yesterday. I think this was a pretty nasty liquidity sweep. A lot of people got stopped out in that first 3 minutes, and we have a 76. It was 76. I don't know why I updated. It's down to 69 now, but 69% chance that we go and take that gap that we made. I don't know what we have for market data this week. Let's check that out. So we have PMI here in 2 minutes, and then we have ISM in another 15. Those should be pretty significant data points. They're not delayed as well, which is a more important note. These are probably our first two non-delayed PMIs. Well, no, never mind. We did have the manufacturing ones on Monday. This week, there we go. This week is probably our first two non-delayed reports. So something for us to look at there, monitor on that. Within the next minute, we should have probably a 0.5% move up or down. Today, SPY and Qs are not in sync. As long as Qs goes and takes a new high, SPY just made a new high in the IB. I think Qs should have enough momentum to go up to like 616 today. Hopefully, anyway. Man. My screenshots do not want to work. I don't know why. Data came in, looks like poor. I was just reading that on Twitter. It came in at 52.2. I think I got the right one. I'm gonna go to Walter Bloomberg, double check. 52.7 for service. So we beat estimates on that, actually. Never mind. 53 on composite PMI. So both of them came in at a beat. Maybe that's a Newswick low that we're going to put in first, then push up. Do. Are you long or waiting to short at 0.5? Neither, because trade weight's down. That's what the pin comment is. Try with Trading View. I don't have them linked to Trading View. I love that meme, KP. You just popped up on my not trading or knowing when to trade is a skill. It is being able to refrain from taking a trade is something that if everyone had the ability to do, you would get consistent payouts. Like the message that you sent me last night, Steve. The hardest thing right now is not trading. The exact quote. I want to take trades, but I know it's an awful idea. That should be the mindset that everyone goes into each and every trading session with. You are looking for the most accurate and well thought out trade that you can get. It's kind of a fine line that you're walking. You're getting a very good setup. You're not thinking too much about it though, because then you'll talk yourself out of it, exactly like what I did yesterday. Something that I'm going to be guilty of for the entire trading career that I've done so far and the entire trading career that I will pursue or will continue to trade. Thinking too much keeps you out of trades, and then you get a little tilted, you get a little angry that you missed the trades, and you end up taking a poor setup or a worse setup than what you would have if you had just taken the original ones. It's a fine line that you have to walk, unfortunately. Right now, I still think we're going to get that gap filled to the upside. So my target's going to be 616.45. I'm not long. I'm going to wait for the IB on SPY and Qs to line up, which right now they should proceed that way. The IB on Qs is still targeting the low. The IB on SPY is targeting the high. We just need Qs to go and take out a new high over 615.13. Which actually, never mind, it did. So they are lined up. It took out a new high at 943. I thought that was still the same wick. We took out 615.10 is our current high. We beat the opening high by 3 cents. So technically SPY and Qs are lined up right now. So we can both be looking for upside on those. YM testing yesterday's highs. Oh. I don't look at YM at all, I'm sorry. Especially after yesterday's little fumble of me misspeaking on it. Oof. It was rough. Gold's pretty good wick back up. 3-point wick. It was quite the opening candle in gold, which had a $6, almost $7 drop. Windows key does not want to work. Must be something to do with the stream. Text me? Sorry, Oakley, I didn't see that you sent me a message. I didn't get any. It's fake news. Me right now because Tradeovate won't let me go into gold shorts. It's going right to my TP and I fumbled on an extra band because of Tradeovate. Yeah, but what if you had entered shorts and didn't secure at the full TP and now you get stopped at break even? A lot of people, I think, have to view this. What's going on, Atley? How you doing? Guessing others may be having NinjaTrader login issues as well. Yes, everyone is. I will remove the pinned comments when Tradeovate is back up. As of right now, it is still down. What's going on, Trinborn? Good morning. How you doing? Happy to have you guys in again. Can't log into NinjaTrader. Yep, nothing has changed yet. At least we can look. I'm not going to enter anything because I think that would be foolish. Enter something and then have it not be able to exit the trade. Yes, everyone is getting the same internal server error. There's probably about 300 messages in Luce's Discord right now. Same thing with Tradeify. Funny enough, it's when you don't have access to trading, you're beyond upset about it. But when you have access to remove your trading and you're down, all you want to do is go and trade more. It's got to be some fallacy or theory behind that, right? Losing access to something that you should have access to and what that does to your brain or your emotions. It's back up. It is. Looks like it is. And only 2 people said it's back. The rest of them all said that they can't get back in. I wouldn't really say this is beautiful price action. SPY just made a new IB low on that wick. I'm not sure what that was. An unplanned timeout to take advantage of. TradeMate allowed me to log in, but the charts are black. Probably because there's so many people trying to log in at the same time. Just be patient, everyone. Just be patient. Excuse the sniffles today. I have a little head cold, I think. If any of you guys were affected by it, the prop firms go and fix the mistakes. If you took a loss because of if you weren't able to get out of a trade, the only thing that you do get kind of screwed over on is if you had a TP set and that doesn't get hit. Like if you had somehow shorted into open, not that you would have been able to because they were down for like 9.25 and on, but if you had shorted and you weren't able to secure it and then it goes all the way back up and you lose the trade at break even or heaven forbid go red and the account gets blown, they reset everything. Looks like there's a technical issue with TradeAvate integration at the moment. We are currently in touch with a broker to resolve the issue so you could get back into trading. Sorry for any inconvenience. It's okay to not take a trade, everyone. Take this as another learning experience. You don't need to be in a trade every waking minute of every day. I just keep looking at that meme you posted in chat, KP. Yeah. Well, I want. Are you saying it's only $100 as in the account's only $100, or are you saying it's only $100 as in you would have made $100 in the day? Oh, made 100, no stress. I'm in positions up 500, but can't close it. Copy trade on 5 accounts. Yeah, it's unfortunate. There we go. New IB low made on both SPY and Q. So we took out previous day's low. That means we should be well on our way there for SPY. Now, what we're going to be anticipating is a retest and then down. Keyword retest. I don't know if we'll be able to take a trade on it if trade evates back up, but that is the plan. Trade evade joined the chat with Project X. I'm still convinced that Top Step has a hand in this. I would not doubt Top Step attacking Cloudflare or doing something silly like that. What's up, Zinc? It's been quite a while since I've traded anything. I would like to learn and start from scratch again. Can you point me towards the right direction? Absolutely. Oh, you're already in the right place for it, I think. Would have been a good short opportunity on Google and Meta. This is another reason today being down during New York. It's definitely influenced by the volume that comes in. There's hundreds of times of more volume that comes in during New York, especially during New York Open. All prop firms have the same data on this as well. New York, 5 minutes before New York Open is when they get the most logins. So that's when the most people log in and take trades or look to take trades. So increase user volume, increase volume in numbers in general. So personal accounts going to trade, all that. And then you also have all the big guys coming into play. You have news that comes out 9:45, 10, usually up until 10. Diversifying when you trade, which is another reason I like trading during Asia session, is another reason that I take the trades I do during Asia, even though they're 1 micro, 2 micros. Not anything to do with the IB. It is the trend trading, but it's the same as diversifying the prop firms that you trade on, so you can continuously get paid. So being able to diversify the trading sessions that you partake in, I think it's important. Like I wouldn't be up 71 on the day. Obviously, I wouldn't have taken anything on the day if I hadn't seen those trades last night. Would you enter with 1 micro if the setup is not 100% aligned with your edge, and 2 micros if the criteria are aligned? No, I wouldn't take the entry at all if it's not aligned with my edge. Like right now, it's always a hindsight thing as well, but right now, why are we not anticipating? Why did we not get in short right there? We knew it's going to go lower. It's probably going to go to previous day's low at 684. Why did we not enter a short? A, no pullback. This candle doesn't even have a wick on the top of it. and B, 10 o'clock data. If you want to add anything else to that, I'm sure you'd find a C and D, but no pullback. There's not even a wick on the top of this candle, so there's no reason for us to chase the downside move. This is a news candle, so that's the reason it's pushing down as aggressively as it is. We want to pull back to go short to first the IB low, and then maybe we can target down to the previous day's low. So you only enter on A plus setups. Yes. I think that should be pretty self-explanatory. Only entering on A plus setups. Would you go on a ride that doesn't have updated safety equipment? Or would you use a car that has a wheel that looks like it's about to fall off? Probably not. So, if you're not using A plus setups for trading, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage anyway. There's no question on, okay, just because this trade's a little less valid, I'm going to enter it with 1 micro as opposed to 2. That's not what you should be doing. So we're just waiting for a pullback. Hopefully, because this candle doesn't have a wick on the top of it, we should get a nice move up to even this weekly's open. This week's open, sorry. 689.46. That would be a really good level to go short at. London low would be a really good level to go short at. A lot of resistance at this level from last night. We just need a little continuation up. How long do you give yourself on the Lucid 25K accounts from eval to first payout? The Lucid accounts, there's no rush on them. It's probably one of the only prop firms in the space that has a one-time payment. So there is quite literally zero reason you need to be rushing on those accounts. So I don't look at, I honestly don't look at anything in terms of rushing the payout. I don't give myself a time frame that I have to get the payout in, especially for Lucid. Here's a good pullback here. A little too early to go short. Let's look for psych levels. We did just bounce off 25.1 by 100 points. We're getting our pullback right now. It does look like Tradevate is still a little laggy. If you just notice these candles updating, I'm switching between charts. What are your thoughts on Perdia? I haven't used them yet, so I don't have any thoughts on them. They did reach out to me a while back about maybe partnering with them, but I never ended up pursuing that because that was when I was stuck on Project X and didn't want to try Tradevate. But now that I'm on Tradevate, I definitely should have pursued the offer, or at least taken a look at it. How much do you risk on A plus setups? I risk the same, depending on what the size of the IB is. Also, for the Asia trades, I usually risk about $80 now. The reason that I risk 80 as opposed to the 50 that I used to is because I have a $3,000 buffer on these accounts. Need a little bit more of a pullback, please. Then we can go to the IB low. The IB stat for today, Wednesday. Let's go to Qs. You're on Wednesday. Perfect. 66% chance to go and take the low, which is in line with a win. And then SPY, we have a 60% chance for a Wednesday. So that one is also somewhat overdue a win. We just need a good pullback for an entry on this. Don't want to go short quite yet. Google reports today. Yeah, we should have Google. Apple should be anytime now too. Google, Microsoft, Apple. These ones usually I'll report on the same week. Here's our pullback coming in. Oh, I don't look at the percent risk. If I had to say, it's probably, I don't know, maybe 4% risk per trade. Yeah, I really do want to go. I don't know if it's going to work. It's the issue. We're at 50% of the IB right now. We do have 14 minutes left on it. 22 minutes, sorry. 14 minutes before we can get into the front run trade. So as of damn. Yeah, we probably won't be able to take anything. So I'll mark this out if you guys are able to trade this. I would take an entry on one MES right here. So a short entry on one MES. Target will be the IB low, and then stop. You can put either at the IB high or you can put it at 1-to-1. I think 1-to-1 would be a little bit better. We cannot go short at the moment on Tradeovate. Tradeify and Lucid both said to avoid trading. Tradeovate maintenance, it looks like there's a technical issue with Tradeovate integration at the moment. We're in touch with the broker to resolve the issue so you can continue to trade. Sorry for any inconvenience. We recommend that you continue to stay off the charts until further notice. Oh, never mind. As of 30 seconds ago, Tradeovate has informed us the issue has been resolved from AJ on Lucid. Please do not reset or remove from your dashboard any accounts that were negatively impacted. So what would the risk on this be? We'll try the one. A little bit high on the stop, but if it goes and forms a new IB low, I will be a little upset. Or new IB high, I mean, but I think this should be, it's about 24 points for the risk reward. So short one, MES, put the stop all the way up to the IB high, and they take profit at the IB low. Entry is 69.34. So we're pretty much right at 50% of the IB. Right about there. 69.34 for the entry. We could also target all the way down to the previous day's low. Never, Matthew. They're never coming back. Short one MES to IB low. Stop loss IB high. Entry was 69.34. And this is because I'm looking for shorts to continue to the IB low from pretty much IB 50. If it does end up getting stopped out, then I front ran it a little too soon. We should also have an added confluence for the inside bar hitting at the low. You say Tradeify said that? Yes, both Tradeify and Lucid. Lucid just updated. They said Tradeivate, this is directly from AJ, CEO. Tradeivate has informed us the issue has been resolved. This is at 10:08. Please do not reset or remove from your dashboard any accounts that were negatively impacted by this outage. Tradeify should have a Tradeivate announcement here. They said, we are aware of issues logging into Tradeivate. We're in communication with NinjaTrader. Please refrain from creating intercom tickets at this point. Wait for further announcements. That was at 9:34. They haven't updated anything yet. It's at 50% on Qs as well. So you could take the same trade on Qs. The risk reward would be much, much higher. Just be cautious of that. We don't have any more data coming out, so this should be a pretty smooth trade. We just have to let it run. And we're looking at this chart right now. Is it long or short? It's a short. It's a short to the IB low. And the reason behind this is because the IB by rejection for today, IB high form first. It's not really that good for a Wednesday, but I'm not looking at it as in like a 59% chance that it should happen for a Wednesday. I'm looking at it as this should have a win on a Wednesday coming up. If it does end up losing, then maybe we just learn not to take the trade on Wednesdays for SPY. Q's also has the same stat, but it's 66%. So they should both line up pretty well. It is a little early, I know. It's a little early to getting in, but I don't think with the size of the range, I don't think it's going to pull back the entire way. Let's see what Leo just said. $120 short. Damn. Frenchie caught that whole move on MES. It's moving a lot. It is. I think part of the reason it's moving as much as it is right now is because you have all the people that were just eager to get into trades hopping back in, personal accounts as well. Still in it right now. It's Google earnings later today. People positioning for Google earnings. I don't think they'd be doing it this soon. Risk on this trade is 26 points. It looks like 36. No, 26. So $130 on the risk. Not too bad. Means our reward should also be rewards 24 points, so $120. A lot of patience. The good news is the longer it takes to develop like this, the longer it goes sideways, the better of a chance we have of not going and taking a new IB high, which is the only thing that would invalidate this trade that we're in right now. Okay, we got another message from Tradeify. Ninja Trader let us know that as of 9:54 EST, TradeDebate was back online and stable. We will work together with the team to look at impacted accounts and send an announcement shortly. Please do not take any action on accounts you believe that have been impacted. Do not reset or remove any accounts that had trades open during the outage 9:25 to 9:54 EST. AM EST. It's so wiki. It is. Whiplash up and down. Whiplash. I think we've peaked at like maybe $20 green on this trade. Just gotta deploy some patience. Okay, I think it was up about 25 is what we just peaked at right there. It's not really getting a directional move as of yet. Q's is looking a little bit better for the rejection. It's a little more continuous on the move down. Should still go and take the I below 608 is the I below in Q's. $6.67. You're rich. Come on, man. Just gross. Don't trade gold during New York. Don't do it. All right, we're down 25 right now. We're 3 minutes away from where the actual front run entry would have been. So, I mean, doesn't look like we really missed anything on this trade. Missed maybe like another 5 points that we could have gotten better entry on. If this one ends up losing, I'll be done for the day with that one. I probably won't be taking any other trades. Not going to be looking to add into this either. So we just have to wait for this to either play out or it's a loss and we move on. Obviously, I don't want it to be a loss, but if it happens, it happens. 26-point risk, $130. Q's is looking a little bit better, but the reason I don't want to take it on Q's, just so everyone is aware, look at the range that we have on Q's today. So IB50 entry is at 25,240. It's 140 points just about to the low meaning that we'd have a $280 stop loss. And if you remember my little chat from yesterday, I go into every trade expecting it to lose. So I'm okay with losing 130 if we lose 130 on this trade, and then just don't take anything for the rest of the day. We move on to tomorrow. I am not okay with losing $280 on a singular micro. Yes, we know it should go and play to the IB low, but at the same time, we don't want to go into the trade being arrogant and thinking it's going to win automatically. So, too much of a risk means no trade. Although it is in the A+ setup, we could make X amount, we could make this, we could make that, we could also lose all that. It's just a good way to go about thinking about it. On the same note, not going to be adding into a losing trade if it is going to be a losing trade right now. We have 7 minutes to go and take out a new IB high, which is the only thing that would make this trade invalid. Unfortunately, if it does go and take out a new IB high, then that just means we got in too early. Today, we should have waited all the way until 10:30, but it is what it is. We entered when we entered. A lesson to be learned. 689.94, 690. I'm not pleased with how fast this is moving up and down. It's kind of frustrating. I would like it to slow down a little bit if it could. Q's definitely looks a lot better than SPY does. Down 55 on this right now. We have 5 minutes for this to not go and take a new IB high. Looks like my mouse is a little laggy today. I don't know what's going on with that. Sorry about the lag on that position. Do I have anything else running that I don't know of? Something must be taking a lot of usage, a lot of my RAM. This is pretty similar to how that trade went yesterday. We were down for the IB entry yesterday. We were down, I want to say $60. It went to 6981. And then it went and took the full IB low. Just don't go and take a new IB high. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Don't take a new IB high. Just hold on to this for 5 minutes so I can at least know it was a loss on the IB and not a loss because I got in too early. If it is going to be a nasty sweep of previous day's low, that's going to be a little annoying as well. 4 minutes. We're down 78 right now. It kind of goes into what I was saying earlier about Tradevate being down too. If everyone gets all upset, bent out of shape because Tradevate stays down, you're not able to get into a trade. Had Tradevate stayed down for another 10 minutes, 20 minutes, we wouldn't have been able to get into the short, and it may have saved us a potential loss if this does end up going and losing. That is just a better way to go about thinking about platforms being down. No adding into losing trades, no. The trade's red, averaging down usually just makes it so you lose more. And what I just said about Qs, the reason I'm not in the IB short for QQQ is because it's at this entry right now, even though it's slightly above 50% of the IB, this is still over $200 of risk. It's 100 points, 105 points right now. I don't want to risk that much on the trade. So We're not taking it on Qs. We're taking it on MES. $200 on one micro is a little too much. Oh, you're just trading on the 4 account. Why are you only trading on those 4? Ooh, 27,370. Nice. You're actually not too far behind me. You're $800 behind on the accounts. Yeah, not all 20. Yeah. All their rules are pretty dumb. IB low has another minute to go. As long as it holds and does not push up to the IB high, we're still valid on this trade. Q's definitely much better looking than SPY, being below 50% of the IB. And we're down 33 right now. QQQ would have been a good trade, but it's still just too far away. It's too many points. And you'll have people that will go and trade that with one mini and have a one mini $2,000 risk, $2,800 risk on this trade if you were taking the IB with one mini. Okay, good. And the IB is closed now. So that should, if it ends up being a loss, at least now we know it's not because we got in too early. It's just going to be because the IB doesn't work too well on Wednesdays. And if we know that going forward to next Wednesday, we probably won't take the same setup. Booked $166 and I'm done because you entered a little bit late on M&Q. There you go. M&Q does look a lot better than SPY does. I mean, they both should go and take the IB low. But M&Q does look better given that it's below 50%. SPY is above. But we just have to be patient. If I wasn't on stream right now, I will say I would probably be up and doing something. Like I'd be outside cleaning the chicken coop or shoveling snow or whatever, some other project on the side. As long as you have your stop loss set, there's no reason for you to be sitting in front of the screen and watching the trade develop because you're more inclined to get out early because you don't like seeing the red. If I was upset about the red that we were down 60 points on this trade up there. I saw that we were down $60, or actually we were down like 77 at the peak. I see that we're down $70. Now that we're break even, I want to get out of the trade. That's the way a lot of people think when you're sat in front of the screen watching the trade. You just want to get out at break even because you don't like the uncomfortable red position. Don't do that. Waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos. Is that an online game? Q's looks so much better. I just wish it wasn't as big of a range. If you got maybe a 50K account, I would have taken this, but on a 25K, it's 140 points is too much. Gold down 40 points, and I only took 7. Hindsight, man. that out of your head. I know I sent you the same messages last night with that one. Did sting quite a bit. You need to stay away from gold. Yeah, everyone needs to stay away from it during New York. I don't have any comments on the stream right now. Did I exit? No, I'm still in it. Still in. Currently down $6, $5, $3, 2, 7, 8, 3. Green. Back to green. Back to red. Oh, it's very much a true thing. If you are sitting here watching this trade, exactly what you just said too, Steve. If you had left at break even, you wouldn't have closed. If you sit here and watch the stream or watch the screen and monitor it, keep looking at the trade. Okay, now that I'm up $7 after being down 77, I'm okay with getting out of the trade. I don't want to go back down to negative 70 because that was just very uncomfortable being up that much red. On the flip side of that, putting the stop loss at break even when you're at a comfortable amount in the profit is also important. You don't want to be greedy about the profit that you could take. Q's is definitely going to go to IB low. I took it on M and Q, got out at 50 points. Very nice. Awesome. Yeah, again, M and Q is a much better setup than SPY, given that it closed below 50%. And this actually also goes to show the slippage that is present on M and Q as opposed to Q's. QQQ closed well below 50% of the IB. M and Q closed both these candles over it, which is just slippage. That's why I don't chart on M and Q. But this entry is down like 65 points, 70-ish points. And that's only halfway to the IB breaking. Be afraid. Okay, what type of music do you guys like listening to when you're trading? I am listening to Stand By Me by Mickey Gilly right now. I usually listen to old country, house music, or just rap. KP's new best friend. IB low is about to get taken on Qs. All right, now that we're up 50, I'd be okay with moving the stop to break even, which I'm going to do. As long as it doesn't wake me out like it did yesterday. Well, that's why I said Hot's his new best friend. I'm okay with the $70. Out at not 70. What am I saying? Out at 62 profit on that. $62 doesn't seem like very much, but that is $1,200 I just made on the 20 accounts. MNQ would have been a lot better. Had it not been as large of a range as it is, I would have taken the trade on MNQ, but unfortunately, it's a little too rich for my blood. A little too much of a risk. MES has another 12-point potential, so another $60 on the downside. I'm okay with taking half of that. Part of the reason I also just secured is I didn't want to get stopped at a break even like we were yesterday on SPY. We took the same exact trade right here. I got stopped at break even twice. Well, the second one I got at $30 profit at least, but basically break even twice. Need a quick 100 to pass my challenge. Thanks, Zinc, for the idea. Absolutely. No problem. Happy to help. Gold's down 90 points. Roof. If anyone took the trade on MNQ, this is 90% of the way to the IB with a perfect 50% retracement. 140 point trade, $280. I did not take it. Too much risk. And believe it or not, that would have just stopped me at break even. I would have cried. That would we'd be stopped at right now, 110%. I would be so upset. So I'm happy with the 60. Very happy with the secure now. Not going to re-enter it. Same exact idea as yesterday. I do not like, and yesterday I should have listened to myself. Even though we took a win on that second trade, I was not happy with the win. I should have listened to myself. Anytime the IB sweeps and barely misses. So we were supposed to take the low. We just missed the low by maybe 10 points on SPY, especially with this aggressive wick backup. And this is something that I'm guilty of. I was just talking about this earlier. This is overthinking what could be another great short opportunity. Overthinking what also could be a loss on the trade, especially on Qs. Qs just missed the IB by 8 points. So if I'm not comfortable in it, I'm not going to enter. Simple as that. Do you like Dwight Yoakam? I think I've listened to him before. Let me see. Unless it's rap, there's not many artists I haven't listened to. My Spotify rap for last year was like 4,800 different artists. Dwight Yoakam, let's see. Guitars and Cadillacs, I've heard that, yeah. 1,000 Miles from Nowhere, I've heard that several times. I actually have that liked. Yeah, there you go. It's on right now. 1,000 Miles from Nowhere. I do like this song. Broken Window Serenade, Heavy Metal Classic, NTS Radio. Awesome. A lot of great music taste in here. Unless you're KP. Unless you're KP. I think I can pull up. Hold on. Let me make sure I pause it. This is usually, as long as it doesn't go and play music, because that could be a problem. Don't play anything. Don't do it. This is usually what I listen to. Where's my old country? Right here. This is usually the music I listen to when I'm trading. And then also stuff like this. This was our wedding playlist. Oh, you guys can see my Spotify. Oh, well. I usually listen to old country and then have it play on Spotify, the Spotify algo. Divorce Dad Rock. That's what I listen to at the gym. Pull that back up, actually. I have it somewhere. I don't think I've made a playlist, but I have them liked. Yeah, whatever. Tupac, Biggie. Easy. My wife hates my music taste. I wouldn't say my wife hates my music tastes, but she usually hates that I replay the same songs. Like the song Sunday in the South, I played that for a couple of weeks. I don't know. I get hyper fixated on certain songs and I just continue to play them. And I get called Unc, okay. Yeah, but he's actually Unc. You're speaking a foreign language, you two. Very happy with the exit. Definitely would have been stopped at break even. Not going to re-enter the trade because I think we've already had a pretty valid reaction for the IB. If it does end up going and take the IB low, I will be making the IB remains goated post later. Even so, this is still a very good trade, and we just almost bottom ticked the exit. We could have gotten maybe another 2 points on that trade, which is always I love seeing that. MNQ missed it by 8 points on the IB low. It hit 122. Actually hit 119, so it missed the IB low by 11 points. IB low is at 107, 25, 107, and this just popped right back up. I think this candle was green there momentarily. Yeah, there you go on the 1 minute. So it went from 25, 119 all the way up to 25, 271. That's 160 point wick to the upside. Bedtime for me. Good night, you little Aussie. You little Australian. My wife is into 70s, 80s, and 90s music. What does goated mean? It means that it's the GOAT. It's like Tom Brady. Wayne Gretzky. It's the best of the best. Why the GOAT took that role, I don't know. But that's just what our culture is. KP and Hot, you guys must be the same age because you were speaking the same. Zinc is younger than me and acts oblivious to new gen slang. I'm not younger than you. No way. I'm 26. You're 24. That 2-year age gap is massive. Oh, thank you guys. I'm an idiot. GOAT, greatest of all time. I thought, oh, it's been a rough week. It has been a rough week for me. First, yesterday with the Dow, me saying that it encompassed the whole market. Now today, forgetting the acronym for the GOAT. Honestly, could not. I know I just talked myself out of getting that trade again, but this could not be a better setup on M&Q for today. Take the first entry at 50%, hits right at 1023. You're down maybe $120. And then you go up to like 220 profit, 260 profit, and then you get another entry, ride it all the way back down. Is NFP this Friday? It is, yes. It is. You thought I was 23? I mean, once you get over 22, 23, it all kind of mixes in. It's just all the same. Nothing's really that different. You also have to remember, KP, that I don't have an in-person job, so I don't go and interact with the youths, as Winston Schmidt would say from New Guru. But there's a huge The difference between like 26 to 32 and 24 down to 18 is insane. I listened to my brother-in-law speak. He's not really that bad, but like the friends that he has, I don't even understand what they're saying. Skibbity, toilet, Rizzler, Merry Rismus. Unk, I understand his uncle. That one makes sense to me, but the rest of them is like, it's a completely different language. I can't imagine what teachers sound like. It must be what all the kids say. I do coach a high school baseball team as well, so in like another month and a half, I'll be up and used to all the lingo. I thought it was the first Friday of every month. It is. NFP is this Friday. NFP is not today, I promise. Forex Factory says different. I use that for all Red Fuller news. Unless it's delayed, NFP should be this Friday. It's the first Friday of every month, and it always has been. Unless it's delayed or because of the government shutdown, maybe. But we should have it this Friday. Which, what I covered yesterday, we will not be taking a trade tomorrow on the IB. I'm going to probably avoid the New York session tomorrow. We will still be live on stream. Just a lesson from last month, though, which I'll go and scroll all the way back to. We're going to go to the first Friday of January, which was January 2nd. This was NFP, I think. Should have been. Did we not get NFP on January 2nd? It looks like it was on January 9th, actually. This is, yeah, never mind. I remember. It was on January 9th. We didn't get it on January 2nd. So this case wasn't the first Friday of the month, but the Thursday that we got before the NFP was very bad. It was very not good. And the IB, it did somewhat work out, but it took all the way. We might, I don't remember. We might have taken this IB trade. Missed the IB high by a little bit. These all had retests down to the IB 50, and then it ended up breaking at 11:45. I was probably stopped at a break even on this one, if anything. But that's typically what the Thursday before. Bloomberg said delayed, but that might change. So maybe we don't have NFP on Friday. Forex Factory is right. Gutted, I can't take Asia trades. Why is that, Pickus? I live in UK. I see. You don't want to wake up that early. Pretty okay with not being in another trade. We're ending the day at 130 times 20. All the accounts but the bottom 5 are over 28,000. So I have $3,000. I've now, honestly, with the deviation, these ones are $2, $2, $3, $5 below. I am well over the 60,000 threshold in these 20 accounts, which is going to set me up beautifully for the next 30K payout. So I will be getting that payout next Tuesday, next Wednesday. No messing that one up. We're only doing one micro. There will be no question on the MAE rule. If they deny me, then something else is at play. But for these accounts, after I take the 1,500 out, they'll be down to 26.5, and I'll have I need to make another 150. I need 3 more $50 days. So these accounts will at minimum for the payout be 28.2. I'll have 1,700 in drawdown going into the next payout. So you take trades. Sometimes it's like, well, yeah, what KP said, not dedicated to the grind. Great trade on live today. Very happy with that. Very happy with how we handled it. It was down 77 at the peak. One trade on MES. Lesson that I see here is that we entered a little too early. So we should have entered at. We did get the entry right at IB50, so it's not that bad. We could have, and this is all because of hindsight, we could have gotten maybe like another 10 points on this, which in the bigger scheme of things doesn't seem like that much. How long did it take me to get the accounts to where they are now? What's your average P&L? I think. When has it been? How many trading days? Hold on. So it has been. My calendar will not work. Oh, use this laptop. February 5, 10, 19, 24, 25, 26, 27 trading days. I did have a pretty major slip up on these accounts, I will say. So that is thrown in the mix. That one wasn't maybe that was the ME. I don't know. 27 trading days, SR. But that's 27 trading days. I also trade on Lucid and Tradeify. Lucid, I got 2 payouts last month. Tradeify, I got 1 at the beginning of the month. So 17,500 in payouts from Lucid and Tradeify last month. This month, I should hopefully get 30,000 next Wednesday, unless Apex does something weird. I need 2 more $50 days, and then I just need to flip the remaining 3 days. 3 more $50 days, and I need to flip the remaining 2 days. Hopefully they don't do anything fishy, but this month should be 30,000 in payouts. Over 27 trading days, that's a month and a half just about, but 30,000 in a month and a half, 15,000 a month, or 17,500, however you want to average it out to. I get your messages, Bob. I'll answer after the stream. So you know I'm not ignoring you. Do you trade 15-minute or 30-minute orb, or just stick with the IB? I trade the 15-minute time frame. I do not use the orb or anything. Correct, SS, yeah. I would say hop in for a month or 2. Use the courses. If you like it and want to stick around, great. If not, then you can stick in these lives. You're live every day. I am live every single day. Yes. Yes, I am. I will be releasing mine sometime this week. It's going to be the London 50, previous days 50, IB. The IB I want to emphasize is not my strategy. it's a stat that's on Edgeful. I've just gotten really good at trading it. So I'm not claiming that the strategy is mine. This is something that's been around. I think Andre told me for 30 odd, 40 years, something like that, something ridiculous. The strategy has been around for a very, very long time. I've just gotten very good at trading it. And the information I have on how I trade it is going to be on that. All of that will be encompassed within the course. Can you show the trade that you took that made the other profits in today's P&L? Yes. So I had one trade last night on MGC. This was a long over 5,000. This was probably about as simple as it gets for reading TA. You can see that we closed over 5,000 on the 15-minute. I longed it. Trade was up like $40. I put the stop loss at break even. It wicked me out, and then it wicked me up by 3 points. It went down to 5,004. And then unfortunately went all the way up 70 points. So that one was a whopping $5 profit. As you can see, it was a one. I can zoom in here enough. It was a one MGC last night. And then the other one, I took one long on MNQ. This one was a close over 25.4 with a bull flag break, 40-point stop on this. And I ended up getting out for $69 profit. So those are the only trades I took today. I'm not going to be taking anything else in the IB. It looks a little iffy on SPY. Q's IB looks great. This one looks fantastic. The only reason I didn't take it was because it was 140 points. It's too much. SPY looks a little meh. Well, not so good. We got out of the trade right there at the low. So that trade is complete. You can shoot me a DM on Twitter, SR. Still in shorts on MNQ to previous month lows. Can I get your opinion? I would just target down to 608.29. And then after that, we don't, given how large of a range the IB is, probably not going to have that much of a continuation outside of this. I'm sure you've answered this a lot of times, but never got the chance to catch it. Why do you choose Lucid Pro over Lucid Flex? Lucid Pro, the eval is 1 day to pass. There's no activation fee on it, just like all the other accounts. The main reason I like the Lucid Pro over Lucid Flex is because of the 1 day to pass. It eliminates the consistency requirement in the eval, which is a lot of added difficulty. For no reason, that means that you have to find 2 quality setups over 2 days. On the IB, you can do it pretty much every day, but for the trade itself, when passing the eval, a lot of people just struggle passing evals in general, so there's no reason to add consistency on where you don't need to. You can get the Lucid Pro and not have. And last question for the stream. If possible, can you walk us through how you scaled up to 20 accounts you have? I passed all 20 of them, and then exactly how you saw me trade today, SS. 1 micro. I just recently started going up to 2 for Asia session. I've always used 1 micro for gold, always used 1 micro for, scratch that. I've used 2 micros on MES earlier in the month, earlier in January. Always use 1 micro on MNQ, always 1 micro on gold, sometimes 2 micros on MES. And all the days pretty much look like this. 130. My best days were the ones last week when we were making these 400-point moves, especially overnight as well. The market gives you, like the trade that we caught on Thursday last week, doesn't seem like a very big wick. This was a 100-point drop to the IB low. So it was $200 I took on 1 MNQ. And then I had like a $410 day. It was either off Tuesday's trend session. One of the days, it might have been on gold as well, but excuse me, 400 or 500 still all off of 1 micro. Do you think Google earnings can pump the market tonight? Absolutely. I think your spin on the IB stat is unique. Andre says it in his videos that he uses IB mainly for situations where the IB gets broken and then he stacks probabilities. Your strat of taking trades off the 50% down to higher lows and unique spin, so don't undersell yourself. Thank you. Yes, that one was on stream. This was 25.8 was the psych level last week, Keen. We had 25.8, 14, I want to say, was the peak. And then I took a short at 25.8, and it was 100 points down to the IB. I think I got out for like 70 points profit. Took that short for 7 points from 69.50. Very nice. IB low is taken on spot on Qs, by the way. The IB's all done there. All right, guys, that will do it for the stream today. IB remains goated. Beautiful setup on this, beautiful continuation. I will catch all of you guys tomorrow. We'll see what happens with if we're gonna get NFP or if we're not gonna get NFP. I'll see. Peace out. For everyone that joined for YouTube, no, my question, I'll answer that. When you're not getting in psych levels that aren't actually IB or meaningful levels, what's your stop? I usually just do 1-to-1. I'll do 1-to-1 on them. Would have been a really nice entry again on Qs, but kind of sold out on that, unfortunately. All right, guys. See you later. I will see you tomorrow, same time.